We were on the 18th hole on day 2, and everything was up for grabs. The 18th hole, the tee had a narrow channel, trees to the left, trees to the right, straight up into a hill with a blind dip on the other side. So if you hit a good tee shot, you could not see where the ball would have gone. Now, I'll hand it to Aaron. Under pressure, he hit a decent tee shot, but what was to follow was so sinister, so deplorable, and so un-IJWM, it still rattles me to this day. Aaron was so eager to win, he threw all of his etiquette out of the window, and after his tee shot, walked with all of his clubs. He went up and over the hill to go find his ball before myself and Mr. Brown had taken our tee shots, just to make sure he had hit a good shot. I was stunned. I thought this was the prestigious IJWM and not some solo par 3 at your back street driving range. My mind was all over the place. Is he coming back? Can I tee off? What if I hit him? I was a mess. I was in prime position to win the IJWM on the last hole, and I was rattled. After waiting for Aaron, and with no return, I stepped up with my driver. I drove, low and hard, deep into the bushes on the right. This put me back to where I started on the tee, but with added shots to my scorecard. Shots I could not afford to have. I ended up finishing the 18th on 8 shots, 4 over par, on a day where I hit 9 bogeys and a par. This wasn't right. And if that wasn't worse enough, now here comes another twist and turn. It looked like it might come down to a draw, even scores after 36 holes, but then Aaron decided to recount his own scores, claiming that he'd actually scored lower on day 1 after all, and therefore declaring himself the 2017 IJWM champion. Unbelievable.
The impudence! The audacity!
Making people think your total is higher than it was, so you can pretend to recount at the end and have the audacity to claim you won. It also turns out that I would have won if I had hit a bogey, and a draw if I hit a double bogey, so it puts those 8 shots on the 18th into perspective. I was still speechless and taking the defeat quite badly, that I thought maybe the honourable thing to do was to keep it all to myself. But on reflection, I should have spoken up. But what I have learned is that it is never too late to speak up, and I wasn't the only one.
Well, yeah, I know what he did. I saw him do it. It was clear and obvious. He wasn't even trying to hide it. I didn't say anything, and that's on me. It was because I thought I was going to win. I thought it didn't matter. I was 6 or 7 shots ahead, and just thought it was pathetic. So I let it go. And then, of course, he got his way back into it, and I let the lead slip. Got to the last hole of the tournament, and there was 1 shot in it. I remember at the time thinking that I should have said something then. But, you know, as a champion, that's what you want. You want the drama of it all to come down to that final hole. And I remember how everyone was so excited. And just let it go, you know. I still was sure I was going to win. We ended up tying, and we were going to replay the final hole. But Aaron, who was doing the scoring, decided that he wanted to double check the scores. And sure enough, he found an error. And there was no 1-stroke gap going into the final hole. He just won it outright. Ahmed voted in his favour, and that's how he won his first championship. I should have said something. Looking back and seeing how he is now. But that's on me. I do have a message for him now, though. So, Aaron, if you are watching, you're a cunt.
The final giveaway, and what sparked my initial thought that there was actually treacherous and despicable team play at foot, was reliving footage during the IJWM ceremony. Covered in controversy, Aaron was awarded the trophy by former champion, which was perfectly acceptable. What was suspicious was that Ahmed was holding the jacket, and ever ready and all too willing to deliver it to Aaron. Now if you look closely, There is clearly too much of an intimate action going on there, and in typical Aaron fashion, removes all manners and decorum from proceedings.
It is with great regret that I announce National IJWM Women's Championship for 2017 has come to a close. And the victor, under a cloud of controversy, Aaron Winkle.
Thank you, James. It's a extreme pleasure that I accept.
Congratulations on a game well played.
Yes.
Give him a fucking trophy. Give him out of it.
Oh, well.
How's that fit?
It was delightful. Thank you, Ollie. Mate. Thank you. Any words? In your face! That's about it then. Thank you. Oh.
So there you have it. The information is out for the public in the IJWM domain. You can choose to do something about it, or you can choose to ignore it and carry on living in your fantasy world where an IJWM champion can be crowned by rallying and acting with co-conspirators, falsifying scorecards on day one by accepting day one scores and then changing them on day two after the 18th hole, tactically removing a strong competitor from the competition, spitting in the face of golf and IJWM etiquette by taking a tee shot and leaving the two remaining contenders to tee off. This is no champion. This is fraud in all its glory. This is not IJWM. Now my demands are simple. That Aaron be stripped of his IJWM title and attire, and like Homer in the Stonecutters, be made to walk around Lingfield with a rock tied around his neck.
And as a final humiliation, you must walk home naked, dragging behind you the stone of shame.
Because #I do not accept.